Today on ZZZ Made Easy, we're running it all down with Burnice. This getting started guide will cover Burnice's main mechanics and combos, how to build Burnice, and what some teams you can use Burnice in. At the end, we're going to have a little bonus tips after party for those that want some extra info. As a unit, Burnice is an S-Rank Fire Anomaly Agent. As her name and class suggests, Burnice specializes in applying the Burn Anomaly for constant damage, as well as setting up disorder via a second anomaly teammate. She requires good resource management to make sure she doesn't run out of fuel. This does make Burnice a little chaotic to play, but if you can manage the flames, then she can cook up some incredible results. I want to cover the Burn Anomaly for those not familiar. After dealing enough fire damage to fill the anomaly bar, enemies will start to burn. Burn is the one true damage over time anomaly because it ticks every 0.5 seconds with a duration of 10 seconds. This means Burn deals 20 ticks of damage over time. Burnice's additional ability requires another anomaly teammate or a Calydon member. This ability extends the duration of all burn effects by 3 seconds. That essentially means another 6 ticks of damage for a total of 26 ticks over 13 seconds. The other part of Burnice's additional ability is that she gains plus 65% fire anomaly buildup for 4 moves. This will be her hold basic attack, her 2 EX special variants, and then her unique Afterburn mechanic. Let's talk about what these moves are next. Burnice's probably burnt bread and butter move is her awesome EX special intense heat stirring method. Fancy way of just saying that Burnice continuously sprays one of her flamethrowers for roughly 2 or so seconds, as long as you hold down the special button with 40 energy to start. Burnice consumes energy the longer she fires, and eventually will do a fire blast finisher. While firing with one hand, Burnice can move in a direction. This will count as a dodge, and it doesn't use energy until Burnice starts firing again, so feel free to use it to reposition. While using EX Special, you can tap the special button again to have Burnice stand her ground, and she'll shoot both of her flamethrowers. This double shot expends energy twice as fast, but doesn't necessarily do twice as much anomaly buildup. It does, however, build up anomaly much faster in the same period of time. Timing is a fairly big part of any anomaly unit because you just want to fill the anomaly bar. Burnice's core passive helps do just that. When Burnice expends energy, she generates heat. This is the gauge under her portrait. At 50 heat, the gauge turns yellow and Burnice enters the nitro fuel cocktail state until she runs out of heat. In this state, when Burnice hits an enemy with her hold basic attack, either for EX special sprays, her chain attack, or her ultimate, she applies a scorched debuff. This is represented by the flame in the middle of the enemy. When other allies attack scorched foes, this triggers Afterburn at the cost of 8 heat. Afterburn deals 350% of Burnice's attack at core level F. It can be triggered every 1.5 seconds, and for every 10 anomaly proficiency on Burnice, Afterburn increases its damage by 1%. This has a max of plus 30% damage if Burnice reaches 300 AP. Afterburn is also considered as assist attack damage. We'll talk about why this matters later on. Afterburn is an off-field damage proc that accumulates fire anomaly buildup. Even though Burnice isn't on the field, Afterburn can trigger the burn anomaly. This makes Burnice pretty unique. Her general game plan is to use her EX special to build up most of the fire anomaly bar. This will cost energy, which generates heat. Swap to preferably a second anomaly agent. While your second anomaly agent builds up their elemental anomaly, they are triggering Afterburn. This can proc burn, and then your second agent can trigger their own anomaly. That will trigger disorder. At this point, swap back to Burnice, use her EX special, generate heat, and repeat. This is not a set in stone game plan. Burnice can just trigger burn manually and have Afterburn start up on the next burn buildup. When she swaps in later, you won't have to use her EX special as much for that second burn. With that said, if you don't use EX special a lot, you don't generate a lot of heat. No heat, no Afterburn triggers. Burnice does require some thinking, and unlike Jane or Piper's physical assault, you don't want to trigger burn while a previous burn is still going. The burn timer would just reset, but you completely lose the remaining damage. By triggering disorder, you condense the remaining burn damage into that disorder proc, and another anomaly will take its place. You can then reapply burn to trigger a different disorder, so you're ping-ponging anomalies back and forth. Balancing Burnice's energy, heat gauge, and keeping an eye on the fire anomaly bar is quite a lot. Luckily, Burnice enters combat with full heat gauge. For stages where you have some energy, if you immediately blast foes with EX special to burn them, you're going to waste heat. This is where Burnice's hold basic attack comes into play. At the cost of 20 heat, Mixed Flame Blend is a spinning attack with actually decent fire anomaly buildup. By continuing to hold down basic attack, Burnice spins for a longer time, and she can outright trigger burn on small mobs. This is especially useful for clearing the mobs at the start of, say, a Shiyu defense stage. You can release the button at any time to go into a finishing hop. After doing the finisher of the Mixed Blend, Burnice can shortcut into her EX double shot flamethrowers. Normally, Burnice needs 40 energy to start EX Special. This shortcut, however, only requires 10 energy. If you need a little more Fire Anomaly or Heat, this is one method to bypass that 40 energy threshold. Another shortcut into Double Shot comes after Burnice's Perfect Assist follow-up attack. Swap in, follow up, then press Special. You can also do the shortcut after Burnice's Chain Attack, which does a lot of fire buildup itself. One last tip to help manage Burnice's heat gauge is using her ultimate. On ultimate cast, Burnice generates 50 heat. This triggers the Nitro Fuel cocktail state, and Burnice triggers a quick assist to her next ally. If you use the quick assist, Burnice stays in the air longer, and the idea is that your second anomaly agent can start their build up while Burnice stun locks the enemy. This is especially helpful for someone like Piper to get her spins off safely. In longer battles, Burnice can struggle to keep up her energy and thus her heat levels. The 50 heat from using ultimate can really be a nice reprieve to keep the fire going. When building Burnice, you want to hit 300 anomaly proficiency to get the max plus 30% afterburn damage. The more AP the better, as usual, but don't forget to also stack up one extra attack. Since afterburn isn't an actual anomaly trigger, it can crit. Burnice has some nice base damage multipliers on her flamethrowers, so some bonus crit stats aren't going to hurt to have. Burnice's signature W engine, Flamemaker Shaker, is very solid. 30% attack main stat and increased energy regen when off field. It grants a stacking damage bonus for every EX special or assist attack hit. The stacks only last for 6 seconds, but remember, Afterburn is considered as assist damage. This means Burnice continues to stack while off field, and with enough stacks, she'll also get bonus anomaly proficiency. Among the A-rank W engines, the craftable Weeping Gemini and Rainforest Gourmet are both good. For Burnice, Weeping Gemini is probably better unless you're fighting a bunch of small mobs who die quickly. Ideally, if you're proc in Disorder, that's at least 2 stacks of the AP bonus. With a couple of refinements, you can match the 75 AP Rainforest grants pretty fast. If you want other options, the Battle Pass Electro Lip Gloss and Piper's Roaring Ride can also work. For Drive Disc, Chaos Jazz is pretty obviously made for Burnice. Bonus to fire damage, and plus 20% EX special and assist attack damage just like her signature. This is an off-field effect, but the buff persists for 5 seconds when swapping in. Ideally, Burnice just comes in to refuel her heat gauge, then swaps back out. The effect has a 7.5 second cooldown, but this is not very long, and Burnice needs to recharge energy anyway. For main stats, Anomaly Proficiency in Partition 4 and Fire Damage in Partition 5 should be the best options generally. For Partition 6, Percent Attack will grant more damage, but Anomaly Mastery just makes things easier to actually burn targets. I'd go with Mastery for general use. For her 2-piece set, lots of choices. Burnice wants more AP and more attack, so Freedom Blues or Hormone Punk are both fine. However, you can get AP and Percent Attack substats. You can't say the same for Energy Regen from Swing Jazz or more fire damage via Infernal Metal. For teams, Burnice really synergizes with other Anomaly agents to help trigger Disorder. I've mainly been using the Sons of Caledon team of Piper and Lucy. Lucy can buff both Anomaly agents' attack, but Caesar's shield definitely would be a lot more comfortable to have against tougher foes. For other Disorder teams, Jane wants field time, and Burnice complements that perfectly. You can use Lucy, Caesar, or Seth for a chance at an extra shock anomaly. People are correct that Seth will only buff one ally with his AP boosting shield, but his additional ability lowers build-up resistance for all elements, so he helps everyone. Could be an example of allowing Burnice to go percent attack in Partition 6. The third anomaly agent currently is Grace. Seth can be used to activate Grace's additional ability, but Rena is a shock boosting unit herself. In the future, Yanagi should work as another electric anomaly teammate. To end this video, I want to have an after-party tips section to share some smaller details about Burnice in a casual manner. Burnice's basic attack string consists of 5 parts, and it's a mix of physical and fire damage moves. For her regular special, you can actually hold special for a charged version. This barely increases damage, daze, and anomaly buildups though, so it's not really a useful feature. When using Mixed Blend and holding for a longer duration, Burnice can move slightly. The direction you hold when releasing basic attack also determines where Burnice hops back. Use this to reposition for the double shot shortcut if needed after. When on-fielding with Burnice, it's good to know when she's invulnerable. Mixed Flame Blend has iframes during the finishing back hop. Despite the description, the single spray EX special does have iframes on activation. It's very brief, but it's there. It then has iframes when dodging, and again during the Fire Blast finisher. Do note the dodges can be used twice back to back before going on a short cooldown, kind of like the regular dodge mechanic. After doing the finisher, there is enough time to press special to activate Double Shot. Double Shot has iframes during activation and its Fire Blast finisher. Knowing when to hold and release EX special can really help not lose HP, especially if you're not going to run Caesar. For some fun tidbits, Mixed Blend can be used as a gap closer. It has impressive lunge range. You can also cancel Mixed Blend with a dash to not use heat while still lunging forward. You must dash cancel before Burnice starts shooting fire. Sadly, this tech is really only there to show off. That's because Burnice's dash attack has its own lunge range and it's much more practical to do. The dash attack will transition into Burnice's second basic attack string. Burnice can also trigger her dash attack after many of her finishing moves. After Mixed Blend, any special finishing fire blast, chain attacks, or perfect assist, just press basic attack and Burnice will use dash attack to close the gap. If it's safe, you can use this dash attack to help gap close for Burnice's teammates. For example, after you build your heat up, if you want to swap out, some agents like Piper will have to run all the way over to the target. Burnice can close the gap first, then you swap out. Instead of pressing basic attack after a finishing fire blast, you can also hold basic attack to smoothly go into Mixed Blend. After Mixed Blend's finisher, you can shortcut into the double shot. This means Burnice can combo Mixed Flame Blend into double shot into the Mixed Flame Blend over and over until you run out of energy. That'll be it for this slightly longer guide for Burnice. She has quite a bit of nuance, but it's super fun to just shoot her flamethrowers, and being able to trigger burn from off-field really solidifies Burnice as a great disorder teammate. I would recommend trying to practice some of the iframe timings we discussed. While Burnice can dodge during her single spray flamethrower, it's not enough against certain enemies. Also, don't forget to utilize Mixed Flame Blend. It's a powerful tool against small mobs. Thank you for watching. Don't burn your house down or don't drink too much nitro fuel, but do have fun with Burnice. I will see you in the next video.